doing the live market preview for, let's see, today's the January 30th. So a couple of things that are really important going into the day. Before I get started, just really quickly get this out of the way. Past performance is not indicative of future results. You can lose a ton of money trading futures if you do not know what you're doing. Markets get volatile. Have a risk plan. Do not trade markets you don't understand. Okay, I'm sharing my trade plan with you in hopes that it'll make you a better trader. But my primary objective is to trade and make money for myself, right? And help others along the way as I am doing that. Okay, past performance not indicative of future results. And if you like to pause it and read the rest of the legal notice, you may do so. So let's start off with structure real quick. We obviously are gapping down. So members in the room, you'll see that last night I noted on NQ. So I want to pull this in, right? There we go. Suck this in. I am going to go past the open, by the way. I'm not trading the first half hour. They can have it, right? I have no desire to get run over. I got to change this really quick. There we go. Okay, so if we expand this out, first thing, let's get perspective. Rally started on the close of the 29th. We've rallied straight up. So the first thing we want to know is, where's our 50-60 retrace? Here's a swing low. Here's the swing high. Please mark this down, right? Your 50 retrace, you should be very keenly aware, is sitting at approximately 67.14. Okay, that's a long way away, but if we get there, expect a strong response. The 62 retrace is 66.30.50. We're not bearish until we get below 60. The same rules that apply intraday apply over multiple day settings. You're not bearish unless you get below and hold below 66.30. It's obviously a long way away, and I do not think we're going down 300 points today. That's the first thing to know. So when we spread it out a little bit, okay, and we get perspective, the first thing that we know, remember the fundamental core concepts of ES, does not matter where you look, is that when we open up and we come down, there is usually a U-turn somewhere in the day. It is rare to close on the low. It happens. It's a horrible color. It happens, but it's rare, okay? So in the room, guys, today when we are talking, okay, and I'm getting feedback. Yeah, I agree, Peter. You should kill it on the options, my friend. Very important. We're down 100 on NQ, all right, intraday. We're down 30 or 40 points on ES. Please do not ping me up on Skype and tell me we are going to close on the low, right, or that it's going lower. I do not want to be yeah, that was thank you, Peter. I do not want to be bearish in the hole on this thing, right? I am looking specifically for the one timing to end. This is my big trade for the day. I'm looking for one timing to end. After that one timing ends, I'm looking for the first 50-60 back, right? And then I'm looking for I'm not sure what you're referencing. If you can be clear, do you have the visuals okay? So there's the room chat and then there's Skype, Abjit, if I pronounce it correctly, I apologize. So I'm not sure on your question. And let me just jump in. By the way, we are hitting new lows in Globex, just so you know. So I want to be really clear. Okay. Well, if you're talking, you should be able to see the visual in the room. Okay, I see what you're saying. We'll clarify it for you a little bit later, my friend. Let me get through the setup so that we can, so that everyone's prepared for the day here. So very clearly, when we are in the hole, we're rolling down, right? We already know we're going to be in the hole out of the gate, right? If we get down here, please don't send me messages about how it's bearish and going to zero. What I don't want specifically, okay, so we're going to deal with expanded range, okay, and faster markets. I don't want theoretical if-then, like if this happens, we could go down 200, or if this, then we could go up 100. I want to focus on what the facts are. Delta pushes, volume pushes, significant support areas, and if we're getting above or below key last buyers and last sellers. That's what I want to focus on, and keeping an eye on rotation size. For my NQ traders, be prepared, okay? Do not be shocked if you have 5-minute bars that are 20 and 30 points wide on NQ if there's a panic, which means what you do before you enter a trade, right, if you know you can't take more than a $200 loss on a trade, right? So I'm going to give you an example. So because this is important, just as important as anything else. We come down, you go, there's my entry, right? We stop one timing, we do a 50-60 back, stop one timing here, do a 50-60 back right here. And you look at the stop, and this stop is 50 points, and you go, I can't take any more than 10 points. I would strongly suggest that you not take the trade and hope that your 10 points work. All you'll end up doing is handing yourself a 10-point loss in most likelihood, right? If your stop is, let's say, 5 points below the swing low, you take the 5, you add 10 points to it. That gives you your entry location, right? You make the market come to you or you pass. Not all markets are tradable by retail traders. You've got to have the correct stop in, right? So that is my suggestion for entry. So let's keep going here really quick. While CL is just getting pummeled this morning. Risk off environment without a doubt. So let's keep pushing over. Okay, guys. So we open below value area low. We are currently trading at 69.36. That's right into the TPO from the 25th, right? And you will notice, and I said this before, I'm talking about right here, right? See how it's flat and not curved? It makes it very, very easy to simply slip through this profile, right? See how there's no, it's bell curve, but at the top of the bell curve, it's just flat, which means there's no place to defend, right? So what becomes the important area? Really, 69.20 becomes the important area down there. And if you look behind that, so here's the big problem. If we get underneath 69.20 and we hold underneath here, right, really 69.17, the next key area is 68.40 to 68.31. And then all of these are untested TPO and volume points of control, 68.40, 67.89. I'm going to make the assumption that we are going minus 100 on NQ today. So I stay relaxed. If I see evidence that's different from that, I'll change, right? Also remember, at the end of the day, your driver is Donald Trump and the State of the Union address. And then also remember, tomorrow we have the Fed meeting tomorrow afternoon. We're also at the end of the month where you end up getting rebalancing. We also haven't had a significant down day. So things have changed here, right? A lot of this has changed. My recommendation, if I were coaching every one of you one-on-one, would be, first of all, pause and take note of what the market's actually doing. We don't have to be perfect in every market. If we defend our capital until we recognize the pattern, like I might want to see, like I might want to go, oh, let me draw this out. I might want to go, one sec. Okay. So I might want to go, okay, we've come down and I notice that I have a sell imbalance and a delta push right here. And I'm going to want to see, right, since the environment changed a little bit, if we get above my last best seller and I'm above my delta push, right? Well, does that actually generate a push? Can I actually get a backside test within my smaller range bars, right? Can I get a test back to the point of control, or does it just get above and take off? Since this is the first day that we've gotten below a prior day's value area in 30 days, I need to learn as quickly as I can how the market's going to respond in those areas. Because what I don't want to do, right, on a big down day is get up here and go, we've trapped the shorts, and then get plugged for a leg down. And it is very common in this environment. Okay, you know what? And now the hedge fund guys are no problem. So next, it is very common, right? If we look at the one timing factors going down, let's find the last time we were down here, right? So if you look at this day right here, which was the 24th, okay, see how we came down? We roll down, we roll down, we roll down. We stop one timing. So I'm giving you the exact date of the model I'm looking for, right? We push up, we do a 50-60 back. Now notice, in this case, we did not get a huge U-turn the following day. That 50-60 actually pushed into the next day, and then that's where it actually gapped overnight and then gave another rundown right back into the 50-60 area and pushed. Now I'm going to go to the 29th of last month, which is the last time we were in this same position, right? So that's this day right here. So look how the day started. We opened above prior day's value area, 3 days of balance. See that? Looks pretty darn familiar to what we have right now. We opened, drove lower. We found responsive buyers. Where do we find responsive buyers? Right in front of, that looks like it's a volume point of control. And it just barely missed down at 64.12, right? Again, we stop one timing. I'm going to show you right here on this bar. Now, what you will notice on that one timing is if you took the 50-60 back, right, you were able to grab a profitable trade out of that trade. It just simply didn't hold for the U-turn, right? What this should have given you is an opportunity to get in, scale, and bring stops to either break even, right, or swing low and manage with minimal risk to the end of the day punch down, right? But just keep in mind, this is exactly how that day laid out. Now I'm going to go back a little bit further, right, to find the last nasty day that we had that was below value, and that would be this day right here. Okay, to show you again. So I'm looking at 11:29, right? Open, drive lower. Now note, look how it happened again. Push down, push down, push down. Stop of one timing. If you don't get, I didn't mean to do that. Let's get rid of the candles. Right click. There is no reverse on this stupid thing. Okay, fine. Here we go. Yes. Right click, duplicate chart. Chart settings. Thank you. Market opens in 1 minute, by the way, guys. So I'm going to go back because this is more important than whatever they do on the open, which is just going to be violent and volatile. Oh, by the way, let me reset Globex high and low. Globex low on ES was 28.30 and a quarter. Oh, we held. That's approximately right. We got to adjust it by 3 ticks. I expect a strong actually push back up would be my guess out of this area. This is a key weekly area. And Globex low on NQ, did it change? 69.25.75, 69.25.75. So that holds, no change. Let me insert tick. So tick will obviously be massively ugly. And you know what bothered me all day yesterday was the advanced decline ratio was horrible, and the tick was negative all day, and we still got that rip back up at the end of the day. So it's going to be very interesting. So let's go back over here. They are changing Globex slow. You're right. 68. So it's 28.75 now. And we'll see what they do on NQ. And 69.25.75 still remains on NQ. Okay, so when we look at that last day back on 11/29, so remember, I'm burning the first 30 minutes minimum, probably the first hour, because I want to see. I don't feel any compulsion to have to grab this. Zero. I know that I'll get my money somewhere through the course of the day. The only thing I can do here is really damage my ability to put money down at the beginning of the day by getting run over. So I want to go back to, there we go, 11:29. Let's fade this out a little bit. Where was my last nasty day? $11.5. Okay, here we go. Opened below value and closed it low. You are in here somewhere. I know you are. Wow, I can't find it. Hold on a second here. It was in November. So how far back we have to go to find a decent down day, sadly. January, December. I need a gap down day to give it as a parallel. Well, here, this is close enough. Okay. And that's actually a great example. Let me tell you why. Even though it's not underneath value. See how we started trending to the downside and it was a slow grind and the breaking of the one time didn't matter. But if each time we broke that one timing down, you took the 50, 60 back, right? So we start pushing down, we stop one timing, you lost on the 50, 60 here, right? We stop one timing, you lose on the 50, 60 here, right? You stop one. Now, this is assuming there was no rotations. These are half-hour bars, right? There are days like this where you can lose on the one timing. NQ down 21 in the first minute if you bought the open. Really? Wow. NQ down 21 in the first minute if you bought the open, guys. Just heads up. Okay. So instead of going through all this, I want to show one other thing. Let me get through here real quick. And that is the weekly. Okay. So now that we're calm and we're open and we're going to let them panic it out or do whatever it is they need to do to trade. We're down 20 on ES. We're down 60 on NQ. That's not a lot, right? So a couple of things. Number one, when we flip to the weekly, right, notice that this is value area low from last week. Right there. See that? That's 69.0975. 69.0975. Is that what we pressed into? The 69.09? Ron? 69.13 we just missed. Okay? We just missed value area low to start the day. Okay? Wow, and I can't even get my dumps to catch up. Where are we? 69.36. Okay. We have to get underneath and hold underneath to get bearish. There's a weekly naked volume point of control at 68.24-ish. Okay. What's the problem with that? It was almost tested the week before from 121. It's where we started that rally. If you get underneath that, the first clear untested area, 66.85, I don't expect to get down there. So what has to happen is, number one, we have to get underneath the value area, which is 69.09. Otherwise, expect to push back in, right? So we are trapped between last week's value area low and value area high. The point of control from that week is approximately 69.65. Guess where I expect to find resistance on NQ? 69.65. If I want to short, I'm really going to look for moves up towards that 69.65 to find chop in that area and eventual rotation back down, right? So that should be written in your chart. 69.65 area is very, very important, okay? And should provide counter rotations back down to the short side. See, now I'm willing to short because we're underneath. We have resistance above us, and I'm willing to short it, right? Okay, so to get long, I need to stop one time to the downside. To get short, I need to rally up towards 69.60 neighborhood, approximately, right? Or get above or below my last best seller, my last best buyer, right? Now let's go look. So we're clear, right? That's the beginning. And understand all the way through here, before you get too bearish, look at the weekly. Where's the last time we got below a value area? If you look at 12.17, that was the last time we got, there's two examples in there. Notice that we get below, we test right into the prior week's value area, unable to close below that value area low. We dip below for just a couple of seconds, which is what I'm looking for today, right? If you look at this and we break it out, right? So this is on a weekly. What you'll notice is we come right over to it, test right below. See how we close? We close right on it at 69 at 63.95. Gap up the next day and never look back, right? If you look at the previous example of getting below a point of control, a prior area, value area low, right? So you'll notice all of this had been covered up. And if you look back to the left, what hadn't been tested in that area, let's see what they were using. We got below, we tested, and we tested into this anomaly right here from a weekly. And once we repaired this anomaly, right? So if you look at this, the way that worked, and this is from a weekly perspective. Once again, see how we repaired to the anomaly, tested below, trap back in, stop one timing. So understand we're putting structure with price action now, right? So the first time they front run the low of the anomaly, that made sense, right? Stopped one timing, 50, 60 back, pushed, came all the way back down, broke the low, trapped the shorts underneath the anomaly where the auction was complete from this profile, trapped back in, 50, 60 back, launch, and then we came back for one more test the following week. You'll notice again, what do we keep doing? We keep trading one more time below the prior swing low and trapping back in. If you apply those same lessons to that, to where we are right now, right? There's the low. We haven't broken below. So what would I expect? I would expect to trade below, trap back into 69.09 above, and then push back to retest that 69.60 area. That's what I'd be looking for today. If I could get it, we may not get it today, right? But that pattern's been established for a long, long time in this bull market that we break below that key area. Notice that N was the last anomaly in that weekly profile. It's where the profile, that N period is the last weekly anomaly, right? There's nothing else really underneath. You might count this, but really I'd say this. So normally what happens is we push in, we get an immediate response, we come back in, we break below, everyone panics, traps back above 69.0975. Guess where I'm looking long? I'm looking long after we trade below 69.0975, then we trade back above, then I'm looking for pullbacks against that 69.0975 to push back towards 69.60. That's my home run trade that I'm looking for today. And up at 69.60, 69.50 neighborhood, I'm willing to look for sellers, okay? So on ES, same thing. Let's see here. Same concept. So here's my weekly. Wow, that's messed up. Hold on a second here. That's not even possible. What's going on with my chart? That is really weird. How come I'm not over here to the right? Let's try this again. Daily. Erase all lines. There we go. Now let's switch this over to a weekly. Okay. No explanation. Oh, you know why? Because we're in the current week. That's why. Okay, so we have an intra-week gap. Got it. So notice, very important on ES. See this right here? That would be called resistance, right where we're at right now. 37 to 40 is resistance. Make no mistake on that concept. Okay? And let me switch my domes here real quick. Okay, so see how we're pushing right into that point of control on the weekly from last week? Your value area low from last week. Oops, other computer, sorry guys. Again, I'm burning the first half hour, although I really want to short that 28.37, right? Value area low. Notice here's the anomaly. This is what needs to get, so important. What needs to get repaired is 28.27 to 28.25. It is very common to push behind that, then trap back in. So on ES, write this down. I'm writing it down too because I didn't notice it earlier. Okay. Chart needs to be repaired at 27.50 to 28.25. My plan there is hopefully we trade past 28.25, exhaust, rotate back up, close above, backside test it for the push back to the upside, right? So this is where the chart, this is where I'm pointing to, guys. I'm not being unclear at all. This is where I'm looking to get long in this neighborhood, 28.30 to 28.20. Obviously, we've already pushed down, but specifically 27.50 to 25. Then I'd like to, it's very important after we get down there that we get back above 28.32 to push back towards 28.40. Okay, that's my trade plan, right? That is my trade plan. I wish actually I pulled this up a couple minutes ago. I would have shorted 28.39 and quarter. We went right to it, but I'm not trading the first half hour. That's okay. So I expect to get down to this 28.2750 some point today. Give me just a second. I got to send a message to the hedge fund real quick. Okay, so lastly, what you'll notice with all this bearishness going on, right, that's really important. You will notice even within the weekly, let's go make a quick history of what happens when we get underneath weekly points of control so everyone can see it. Again, I'm trying to reset everyone's brain so I don't get everyone on bear mode, right, that we're going straight down and that everything's all over, okay? Notice that when we trade, when we manage to trade below a prior week's low in ES, right? So if we look at this week, here's the volume point of control. I mean, the value area low, the point of control, right? And then if we look below, this is value area low, right? But notice in every instance, when we trade down, right? So see that right there? We end up with a intra-week series of gap downs, and it pushes down, pushes down, pushes down. So this is a weekly chart. You essentially ended up with 3 down days, right? That then gapped up and rewrapped that whole area through there, right? Because this is a weekly broken out. What do I want to point out about this? This becomes a balloon underwater. Yes, we got underneath the point of control. Yes, we got underneath multiple points of control. And yes, there wasn't support all the way down. Notice that every single day we reversed back up and that push lower. See that? And as a matter of fact, on each of these days, either the first half hour or the second half hour marked the low of the move, right? And then we reversed back up. Also notice that when we stopped one timing on each of these days, stop one timing, 50, 60 back. No chance here. This is just trend up. Stop one timing, 50, 60 back, push up. Stop one timing, 50, 60 back for the push up. Consistent in ES. There's no question about it. So where do I want to work? Where do I want to try and get my trade from? I want to try to get my trade from pushes down. I want to find the settings, and you can go back and look at that week of 11, 12 if you want to see what the reversals look like. But I promise you, I would have heard all this noise about we've extended too far, we're below the point of control, the market looks bearish, and we're rolling lower. And we couldn't even get back to test. Once we broke out of this prior session, once we broke below this point of control right here, right, which had already been tested, which means we should have been able to come down and test 28.555, and we couldn't even get there, right? The whole rotation down during that period from peak to low was 25.96-ish. The low was 25.60, right? So that whole move was, even though it looks massive and ugly, right, it was non-meaningful, I think is the way I want to describe that, non-meaningful, right? The last piece as well is that we are looking, what do trap traders look like? What does it become when traders are trapped, and where are they coming off as significant support areas, right? We want to think through our process carefully, and then also remember the bet has been that volatility is coming in, but what's marked the difference in this breakout from the past 2 years is that on every other market breakout, volatility has collapsed. Volatility has increased on this breakout. So what might look like the market getting clobbered to you, right, because your reference is the last 2 years, could be perfectly normal now because of the increase in volatility. Everyone's betting that volatility is coming in. I promise you the short vol guys are in pain right now, right? And we do not know that the volatility will come in. Okay, and we could still be in a raging bull market. And that's, if you remember back when we were breaking out, I said my thesis is we break out and volatility increases. And that's exactly what we've had. So the other part is when you're going through your rotations, 10 points, 20 points, and 30-point rotations in ES, I would go on a day like today, I would want at least a 30-point rotation on NQ if I were going to be trading it. And I don't have a lot of experience with using Delta or finding places where people are trapped. Okay, yesterday's end of day bar, one bar moved 25 points in 5 minutes. Okay, that is, wow, here comes my math skills. Over $1,000 a contract on ES. 4 times 20 would have been 800. $900 a contract, okay, in 5 minutes. Make sure you're getting your stops in and make sure you can deal with the volatility. If not, I would suggest switching over to ES while the volatility is higher. It's more controllable in a very fast market, right? So that's my 2 cents. Everyone knows what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the one timing to end. I'm looking for the 50-60 back, and I'm looking to nail it. Other than that, I will be scalping through the day using my delta charts out of key areas to find support and resistance. And we need a team effort. The most important thing that we can do for the team today is please, please, please don't get bearish if we find ES down 50 points and we find NQ down 100. Please do not tell me how we're going down 200 or 300 points today. If we do, we do. The point of your stops, 2 stops back to back, full stops, stop trading for the day. We'll come back tomorrow. This will end up being a one-day wonder. The president will be done speaking. Tomorrow's Fed day. And then we go back to whatever it is that we're going to have in the future. There's no point in trying to project it, right? But the market's weak right now, and we know where we're looking to get our buyers. By the way, we're pushing into that key area I just talked about, the 28.2750 to 28.25. I'd like to see it broken and then pop back above. That's what I'd like to see. I'd like to see that area broken, stop one timing, get back above, then give me a 50-60 back. And I'm probably going to trade a little bit smaller size today so I can use a little bit wider stops, which I got a feeling are going to be necessary. So that's my 2 cents, guys. I missed that 28.39 area. That would have been a beautiful short. C'est la vie. Internals are going to look horrible, but I'll give them out to y'all anyways. Advancers, 492. Decliners, 2287. 0.21 advanced decline ratio. I don't know how to make that any simpler than that. And again, that 28.25 is very to 28.2750. Very, very critical to me. You notice we just missed shy of missing that. And I'm letting, again, the first half hour go. And you can tell that they try to respond right out of the white zone both last night and today. Let me move this. Wow, what's running so slow? Let's kill some charts. Too much data going through. I hate TradeStation. TradeStation has gotten consistently worse is a good way to describe that, right? Remember, from a just basic concept, we've got to get above our best last seller. The problem with that right now is your best last seller is encompassing 20.5-minute bars, right? So what we generally want when that happens, right? Remember, your stop has to be the proper stop. So what we're hoping is that we come in and reset some structure down here for a push back out. And this white zone, this 69.22 is a key area here. And I'd be very surprised if we don't get responsive buyers out of that location, just like we did last night. And now and then remember off the weekly, this 25 area, which I did not have marked on the chart. I should have, but I didn't. So on a day, there's a naked volume point of control at 28.20. There's the weekly. So what would be ideal is that 28.25 repairs the chart, right? But it's not actually a zone. It's a structure that's interesting. So what I would like to see, looking at the chart now and putting the pieces together, is maybe we get past that 28.25, we come back in, then we get back up to the white zone, reject, right? Because traders are going to look for the refund trade, but then we can't get back below that 25.27, and then we push back up. That would be ideal in terms of a path or a pattern that I'm looking to play out, right, on ES. On NQ, let's go see what the chart needs to get repaired on the weekly really quick and see if there's anything here for us to work off of. Damn, I wish I just was not going to trade that first half hour, but that was a nice setup from the weekly chart that I did not get. Okay, so let's go to NQ. On the weekly. Is there anything to repair in that chart? Okay, yes. This needs, so on NQ, so for repair purposes, so repair purposes aren't the same as we trade there and it's done, right? So, but I would suspect we're going to get past 69.01 to 68.95 is key. I'd like to see it broken. The chart is truly repaired from a weekly perspective at 68.60 to 68.49. Okay, so again, these are areas that I don't necessarily think they will just simply pop out of them, right? I don't think we'll simply hit them in reverse, And what I prefer to see them do is trade through it, then get back above and push. So what I'm going to do is keep that weekly chart up, and then I'll flip back to the daily chart for the one timing factor. Let me close this file, close chart book. Yes. Okay, there we go. And let's switch this to daily. And you can see on that 30-minute bar, we just need to stop the one timing first. So let that get repaired, right? You can see the TPO. See how the TPO and the volume pointing control and the daily are so spread apart here, and that's why they're having a hard time generating any concerted response here. So let's see what we do when we get down into those 6908s areas, which I assume we're going to make it down to today, and then look for the responsive buyer. Now let's go back down, guys, and check off on what we're looking for on an individual basis, right? So what I'm looking for intraday. Wow, where's all my broken out charts? Okay, so my 5-range chart is going to be massively busy today, massively, right? So the first thing you're going to notice is I want to be able to at least see us get above our last best seller through here, right? So this already has a lot of data on it, right? Let's pull this in a little bit. You see just a ton of bars is going to be pretty normal. So I want to highlight right out of the gate. What am I going to do? I want to highlight where my strongest delta buyers and sellers are. So see this 409 guy right here? Okay, so the first thing I know is that that's my best buyer of the day right there, right? So far. On a 5-range bar, that was my best pushback, right? You'll notice as soon as I closed underneath him, nighty-night, right? See, we came in, big delta push, unable. You don't need a big delta close underneath, big delta push underneath. I expect that 69.37 to 69.42 to now be my next resistance area. I've got to write that down because that chart moves so fast. So 69.37, 69.42.50 intra resistance. And that's only 15 up from here, right? Next, I'm looking for my sell imbalances, right? And if you'll notice, this is clearly my biggest sell imbalance bar right here. If I close above it, that's my first step, right, at pushing back up. So again, I'm setting up my scalps. I normally don't share this with the whole world, but we're moving fast today, so I'm just going to keep moving fast. 69.26.50, close above, probably get you 69.37 to 69.42. Okay, again, this is just scalping, not reversal. Reversal's bigger time frames. This is scalping to make money, right? So also notice that my biggest negative sell delta came in right here on this bar, right? So notice that both of those are going to, I had a sell imbalance there. I had my biggest negative delta. If I get above 69.26.50, I expect to push back to 69.37. Just want to be really clear above that. Above 26.50, I expect to push to 37, okay? And then you see at the low, we just punched a new low and reversed back in. So what we should be able to see from a learning experience, right? See how we're coming in above 26? If this closes above 26.50, my assumption is push up, okay? For the first time, let me unlock this. Okay, so see how we're pushing above here now? And that should print right there. So, hypothetically, I'm going to try to grab a test back towards 69.27. And I'm going to use that against the low, but that's too big. How many points do I need to give that? Back to 69.24. Okay, no more than that. So how many points do I want to give this? Closed above. I really don't want this trading back below 69.20 at this point. So $69.21 minus, let's just call it $69.20. is the most I want to lose on this trade. Okay. Just to be safe, I'm going to put it at 69.19. My stop's at 69.19. Now we'll see if I can grab that reversal. Obviously, it's aggressive right out of the gate, right? Because they may just come through and sweep. It's a really small time frame. But it tells me where I want to enter and where I want to stop, right? So I'm willing to take the risk out of the gate to see if I can't squeeze them back up, right? And that'll be my first trade. If that stops me, I'm out of luck, right? So 69.27. What am I shooting for? 69.37 from here is where I'd like to see us shoot back up, and I expect resistance from that point. Okay, so that's how I set it up intra-day. And as you can see, we're lifting now. We should be able to make it to 69.38 pretty easily. But they are not making it very easy on me, are they? Dang, I didn't want to come out of that already, but let's over and above. Let's go. Shake, shake, shake. Looks like they're going to stop me. I didn't take the scale. They got above and then they stopped me. That's okay. I had a shot at it, and that's all I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for, is to get over those sell imbalances, right? And I know it's going to be fast early in the day, right? So I still know 69.26 is my key area. I've got to get above that to push up, right? Nice job, Ron. I didn't come out quick enough. I tried to stick the reversal. Now we just pushed one more low again, so we'll see at the end of the first half hour where we end up. Okay, and then the other piece that we're looking for over here I thought I had them there, is where do I get my biggest volume and delta pushes from? So far today, this right here is my biggest delta push. That's not right. There we go. So notice the delta is pushing down. We're actually coming off of that on a 5-minute chart, right? Hold on 1 second here. Let me spread that out. Notice that we're not below. We've got to get above at this point, the first 5-minute bar, right? 69.44. If we don't get above 69.44 and we don't get above VWAP, that's the other problem, then look for continuation lower. There's no way to beat that particular piece of the formula, right? They're just going to keep coming at it again and again. So this was my next best delta sell, 932. I still got to get above him, which still brings me back to 69.44. If I can't get back above there, I'm toast anyways. Doesn't make any difference, right? I'll end up getting the same thing 2 times in a row where I get run over. People are clearly nervous because we haven't U-turned yet. That U-turn, that last push where I just took a stop, I should have been above. That should have been an easy no-brainer to the upside, right? Instead, what do? They ran it over. Every other day this month, if you got that set up, they would run, right? So again, keep in mind, we want to get to, notice we're at 28.25. We want to get back above that 28.27 for a push back to the upside. It's really, really important that we allow that to work itself out, okay? So anyways, let them push below, and then we'll come back at it, right? Okay, so let's get focused, guys, on YouTube. Thank you for joining us. Remember, manage your risk very, very carefully today. It's going to be hard. There's no question in my mind about that, particularly on NQ and ES. You let it settle out, and you'll have an easier time with it. Let's jump this off. And I'm going to end that broadcast right now.